In Abhishek Chaube's Udta Punjab, Kumari Pinkie develops an addiction to heroin after her abduction and rape. Her struggles highlight the loneliness and desperation that an addict battles on the road to recovery. The Swaddle presents Recasting. In Hindi cinema, the addict is usually shown to be a socially maladjusted outcast who is constantly wreaking havoc in other people's lives. Often, the addict is shown as someone hailing from a traditional small town who falls into a life of debauchery when exposed to a fast, glamorous, and westernized city life. Other times, addiction is romanticized as something that a character relies upon to nurse a broken heart. When it comes to the depiction of women struggling with addiction, Hindi cinema rarely fleshes out the struggles and motivations of such characters. Instead, the woman addict falls into two broad stereotypes. The bad woman whose binge drinking proves her immoral character, and the sad woman who loses her way and eventually ends up alone, institutionalized, or dead. Most of these depictions don't engage with an addict's struggles against stigma, loneliness, moral censure, and finally, themselves. But this is where Pinkie from Udta Punjab breaks the mold. Pinkie is a young girl working as a field hand on the estate of a wealthy landowner in rural Punjab. Forced into daily wage labor to provide for her family after her father's death, she is desperately on the lookout for more money. One day, when she accidentally stumbles upon a large quantity of cocaine, she decides to steal it and sell it.
3 किलो हेरोइन दोबारा फोन नहीं करेंगे.
But her plan goes awry when she's caught by the smugglers who were trying to locate the missing dispatch. She is then taken into their custody where she's repeatedly drugged and raped. This results in Pinkie developing an addiction to heroin.
साला कभी बीड़ी ना पिए हम और इस सुई का आदत लगवा दिया हमको.
But instead of villainizing or judging her, the film sensitively depicts the various extenuating circumstances that push Pinkie into addiction. Here, the allure of drugs is not shown as being restricted to westernized or modern environments. Instead, the story shows how insidiously the narcotics trade spreads into the pristine countryside, finding victims across class and caste locations. When she realizes she has become dependent on heroin, Pinkie struggles to find a way out of the addiction. Despite her efforts, she often falters and is reduced to a state of helplessness. But unlike mainstream portrayals of addiction as morally corrupt or as an indication of individual weakness, this story does not make Pinkie an object of pity.
बड़ा पोस्टर दिखता है गोवा का, उसी को पलक झपकाए बिना देखते रहते. काहे की वही हमारा अच्छा टाइम.
Instead, she takes charge of her own destiny. Not only does she manage to escape from her captors, she also starts weaning herself off heroin. The story documents this long and arduous journey towards recovery in graphic detail. For most of this period, Pinkie is alone and desperate, while her body has violent withdrawals from trying to quit. But when she's able to escape the situation she was thrown into, we see that her addiction was a result of circumstances out of her control. And unlike most addicts in Hindi cinema whose stories end tragically, Pinkie regains control of her life, finding love and pursuing her long-cherished dream of traveling. And just like that, we no longer see the addict as an object of pity or scorn, but realize the complexities of their struggle against a cruel addiction.